I believe much of the work we should be doing together in the future is related to urban design, or the design of the cities of the future. I, did, I think this vision is actually in two terms. One is a short term or short run, and the other one is the longer term. In the short term, which is of interest for politicians and people who are in power for a couple of years, include issues like safety, which is basically the reduction of street crime, the availability of water and electricity, adequate for the citizen in general, the issues related to garbage disposal and collection, and the solutions to an increasing concern related to mobility and urban transportation. When we look at the city in the longer term, new things arise which might be the subject of research. One is the design and the development of urban regulation, and that has to do with the architectural issues and other which can be mentioned later. They have to be related also to social services, including health services and others related to the welfare of society. It has to do with the supply, the adequate and timely supply of food, and the issues related to the global change, including the objectives of the development of the century. But the future of the city can be seen in that respect only in the longer term. It has to do with supplying communities with adequate places to live fully, not only to spend the night, but to live continually. It has to do with the communities which are to be integrated with people who trust each other, therefore which have a strong kinship, I could say, and where the community has a balance, an adequate balance of all its needs, like equitable opportunities for work, to educate themselves or to be educated or to educate other people, to have the leisure that's needed to rest and to spend time. The technology for this future city exhibits several very well identified changes. First is energy. Energy has to do with distributed generation. No, not the centralized supply, which is still popular in Mexico, for example. Once the energy is dependent on the needs and the capacities of the community must supply its own water adequately, including the rainwater which is collected and the treatment of used water. And once water is treated, we can look into the compost production, which has to do with the evolution of the organic parts of the water which is treated. And once I do that, and I do the same thing with organic garbage, then I can look into food production, which is adequate for the community and is related to the community producing its own safety, social safety, in an integral manner. When I can do that, then I have reached what is written in the books as sustainability for the community. The community becomes more and more sustainable the way it's moving in that. And that happens when when the community is planned. And the planning involves at least three basic bits. The city of the future arises from planning. The planning must include all the dimensions, the time and geographical dimensions, including local, regional, national, and global. And the city has a proper international standardized regulatory scheme, which is well developed, well known, and accepted. And that requires a leadership, which is very different from the one we have nowadays, which must be evolved and adapted.